Joel,
Mm.
Iron Man doesn't come up when I Google Marvel Method Iron Man.
Oh, shit.
There was a documentary called The Marvel Method.
Number 7. I'll take it.
Oh no, we're actually...
Oh, wow, we're number 4.
That's episode 2. 10 views, boys.
They're all us.
There was an idea
to bring together a group of remarkable films.
to see if they could become something more.
So when the world needed them, they could build the universe.
That no one else ever could.
This is the Marvel Method.
Joel, you're not going to hear this until I put up the video. Yeah, hope your food's good. Hope your ankle feels better, buddy. Looking forward to Guardians. I gotta be honest, I've seen Guardians twice. I'm looking forward to it mediocre. But I'm really excited that you're excited. So you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be excited because you're excited. Have a good one. Joel, we're finally here.
Oh, you stole my line!
Yes, we're finally here.
No, we're
Joel.
finally here. This is Joel.
This is Joshua.
And we are finally here. We have hit the slap bang in the middle of phase 2.
GOTG. Were you just look distracted by Vin Diesel's face?
Yeah.
Vin Diesel's face flashed up on my laptop and Joel just paused and stared.
We are here at Guardians of the Galaxy. Now,
Did you know he's Groot?
I know how to answer this question, but I'm not going to answer this question
Okay.
yet.
Alright.
Anyway, we're here.
Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy Film 10. So, how many times have you seen this film?
We're talking double figures, probably.
Double figures.
You've definitely seen it more than once.
I have.
I know this for a fact
And why do you know this for a fact?
because we went to see it for the second time together.
Correct. The second time we went to see Guardians of the Galaxy was a double bill to a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 at midnight. So they played Volume 1 at like 10 p.m. and at midnight they started Volume 2.
We had time to go for coffee, though.
We had time to go for coffee, we went for dinner before. More than that, there were no adverts. They didn't play a single advert before. I was like queuing up the advert. Suddenly, boom, into the film, like, I could get used to this. Of course, now they play adverts between every single film and I don't want to watch any of them.
That's because you don't watch trailers anymore.
Yes, exactly. Joel was looking at, the last time we were in the cinema to watch Alita, I was just had my headphones on, and Joel was looking like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not listening, la 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 la. Anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy, I've seen it twice. The first time I saw it was in America on camp. They, on a day off, a couple of guys and girls went to see it. I gotta be honest, I didn't expect much. I was like, fine, whatever.
Avengers in space, woo!
Yeah, what I didn't expect, and, oh man, we'll see it from the opening scene, I didn't expect a film that was silly. And that's what Guardians of the Galaxy is. It takes your normal standards of heroes, and it just makes them silly. And it does it with such confidence, and such fantastic characters, that not only does it make them silly, it pulls it off, without being, like, embarrassing.
This was a big film for you, wasn't it?
It was the film that got me into comics.
Yeah.
I started, after watching the film, I was like, damn, okay. Oh, look, there's like an advert. Yeah, I got to the adverts. The advert's like, yeah, you can get like Guardians comics for like 99p or like 60 cents. And I was like, yeah, I'm into that. So I bought one, then I bought another, and the story goes from there.
Should we quickly do some news?
Go on.
So we mentioned it last time that Black Panther this year has been nominated for Oscars.
I'm guessing 2. Is it?
The 91st Academy Awards, the Oscars.
I'm guessing they're nominated for Best Film and Best Special Effects. Actually, it didn't really have that great special effects. Best Film and Set Design.
Yes. There's just an additional 4 more you need to...
What? Wait, both of those?
So
Was it
best
also-
best
best film?
picture and best production design.
Best production design. Okay, was it also makeup and hairstyles?
No, there was costumes in there. So that's
Okay,
3.
costumes. Could it be special effects?
Your
was it special effects? Yeah. Okay, I thought as much. All right. I want to say actually. I want to say male lead, best lead. No, not best.
all on one topic.
One topic.
All
Okay.
three, the other 3 are all on
Okay.
one
So
topic.
sound design.
Sound. So one is for a best original music score, one is for best sound mixing, and one is for best sound editing.
Curious. I mean, let's be honest. Those were the Academy Awards that they were going to give out during the breaks.
Probably. I don't know.
Actually, the other one they were giving out was actually best cinematographer, which is like, hang on, you want to say like, oh yeah, this is the one we wish to push away. Anyway, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Now I got to be honest, I don't think it'll win best film because like fantasy films don't really do that.
No.
But I think they would have a shot at sound mixing, and I think they would have a shot at production design because they took a massive amount of African heritage, and I think they did that very well.
Yeah, I agree. I think. Well, again, if we get to it, we can.
If
can
we
discuss
get to
it.
yeah.
We can discuss it, but there's a lot of fierce competition you've got for best film, especially. There's some really fierce competition for best film.
Go on. What have we got?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Ooh, okay.
The Favourite. I haven't heard of it. Black K Klansman, which was really good. I like that. Green Book that just came out. Vice, A Star Is Born, and Roma.
That is actually a tough lineup.
It's a really tough lineup. If you had to give it to one of those, would it be Black Panther or would it be something else?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, they wanted to have a category for best popular film because they were like, not enough popular films are winning. I would give it to something else. I thought Black Panther was a fantastic film, but there are so many other good films in the year. I think that others deserve the award of Best Picture.
I think so. Not that we don't like Marvel films. We both thought it was a really good film,
Yeah.
but I don't think we're quite there yet.
I mean, it's not even there yet. I don't think Marvel films will ever be Academy Award worthy.
Well, that's an issue with that. I think that's an issue with the Academy itself.
I don't think it's the Academy. I think when it comes to the question of what gets Best Picture, whenever I've watched previous Best Picture winners, there's been something truly emotive about them. Last year's was The Shape of Water. I went and watched it and I was like, I don't like romance films. But that film got to me. I was like, wow, it's a great film. You can tell from the first moments of it that everything is planned out and you are in the hands of a capable person. When you look at previous ones in the past, the ones that won in sci-fi were Star Wars and E.T. There is something literally magical about them. I don't think Marvel, we'll have to see when it comes to the next ones. I don't think they've got a film that yet that quite hits out. I don't think they ever will because they're an entertainment company. They will pick fun over sort of style any day.
That's fair.
And I think that's okay. I'm reminded of Samuel L. Jackson being questioned saying, are you gutted that you never won an Oscar? He goes, sorry, let me paraphrase. You always forget who wins the Oscars. You don't forget who is the highest paid person in cinema. And that was him. So you know what? Go for the entertainment first. Awards are nicely.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's the short news that I've got this week.
That's okay. That's all right.
Hopefully, we'll get some more news soon.
And we should be having it. We are February 18th. Miss Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Ms. Captain.
Captain Marvel, March 8th.
Yeah, very soon.
Very soon.
Okay.
It's very exciting. Joshua, tell me about this
Guardians of the Galaxy.
film.
Well, I'm going to do this in slightly reverse order. They made 773 zilzes.
773
Zilzes.
Wow.
Now, but they did go over budget.
Really?
In fact, by all accounts, they went something like 30 million over budget, and then the UK government supposedly gave them a £30 million rebate. It's kind of weird and complicated. It says here their budget was 195 million net, but 232 million gross, and it was somewhere else it said it was meant to be 170 million. They went over budget on it. Now, don't get me wrong, it did fantastically well. It did 3 times its money, sort of thing. And
No guns going bang, 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 but...
it's Happy James Gunn. Happy guns. It's not ecstatic guns, but more specifically, what this film did do is it very clearly cemented the need for this. And the production for this has a fascinating story. A lady by the name of Nicole Pullman, back in 2009, she was in a Marvel screenwriting program. Well, basically, they give screenwriters a bunch of their things and just say, help us come up with ideas. Throw stuff at the wall. And she surprised them all by picking out Guardians of the Galaxy. And they're like, wait, what? It's like weird and spacey. Like, shouldn't you be doing a romance one? She's like, no, I'm really interested in it. And she picked it up. She spent 2 years immersing herself in Guardians of the Galaxy and writing this script. And this is what landed on Marvel's desk. And this is what got their attention. And then James Gunn came along and he rewrote the whole thing.
Really?
Now, this isn't the first time we've seen this. We saw this happen in the Avengers
with Joss Whedon.
Now, in my first thing my thought was like, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? You spend 2 years researching all these characters, and then someone just redoes it. But then, let's think about it. James Gunn himself said, basically, he added so much what we will consider vital to this film: the comedy, the mixtape, the some of the side characters. And people have said, well, look, if you think about her job was to bring it to life and show it could work, and then they move on with it. But she is given screenplay credit, or story credit, I can't remember which one. And the reason for it is that the Writers Guild of America is very, very protective of first writers. And in ways I can kind of see it. Like, it's a shame to spend so much time and not get credit for it. But then again, what's worse? Spending all that time writing a story that is then not yours, or seeing a story that's not yours with your name on it. Tough one, right? Welcome to business. And I remember reading, in the theatre business, the writer is key. You cannot go against what the writer writes. Oh, in the film business, the writing's at the bottom of the food chain. Bend over, take it from everyone.
The directors.
Director, producers. But the writer, they have to do what everyone asks. Anyway, that was fascinating. Another fun one that I remember reading, just on character in this film, Gamora. I didn't realise, but she... the other film I know her very well for is Avatar. Yeah. In both films, she doesn't get to play someone who looks like herself. Yeah. Well, actually, she looks like herself here, but she doesn't get to play a green and a blue character.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, should we go through some of the new entrants to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because actually, this is the first franchise that Disney produced.
I mean, this was kicked off around about the same time as a lot of others were coming out, but if you say it is, sure.
It's the first film that came out that Disney produced.
Okay.
That has original characters in.
Sure. All right, go for it.
Because we had Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. Then we skipped, which we haven't really mentioned, but we skipped Thor Ragnarok, The Dark World.
Uh-huh.
What did you think of Thor: The Dark World?
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was fine, but after coming out of the cinema, I was like, okay, let's move on. Like, there were some reasonable gags and jokes, and there were some okay action scenes, but actually I've never really gone back and rewatched it. I've never really been interested in rewatching it. So that kind of sums it up.
And the same Iron Man 3 came before them as well. So literally we've had Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, all the people we've already had already. So now this is their first original film.
And not as an original, it brings out everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's brand new across the board. So we've got Chris Pratt, most notably known from Parks and Recreation at the time, but also did the voice of Emmett in the Lego Movie.
Did he?
Yeah.
Ah.
You then got Zoe Saldana playing Gamora, but also plays the girl from Avatar, the main field from Avatar. You've got Dave Bautista, ex-WWE wrestler, turn actor extraordinaire, also appearing in James Bond.
Also appearing in Blade Runner. He is a remarkably good actor.
He is, and I think this, of all of the films that he's done, the comedy is shown really prevalently in these films.
I think that works really well for him. But yeah, no, like he has a really good screen presence. I really appreciate that.
Then there is the voice of Rocket Raccoon, played by Bradley Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Cooper was most well known for the Hangover films and A Star Is Born and the A-Team and all these things we like him in. And Groot, voiced by Vin Diesel.
Who voiced Groot in all the languages.
Yes, he did. He recorded those lines over 1,000 times.
How many times can you say the words I am and Groot in that order?
So he had most notably from the Fast and the Furious franchise, which we like. We're not too bad.
The first time I saw him was in Pitch Black.
Oh, really?
It's an awfully good film.
Bad, good film, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I watched it the first time, I was like, oh, this is amazing. When I watched it years later, I was like, this is actually not as great as I thought, but I still have nostalgia glasses.
We're not too. We're fans of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's more on the silly side because God, no one can do a programming scene accurately.
Let's not go into this now. We spoke about this last time with trying to steal all of the
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And who else did we get? We had
Michael Rooker is Yondu.
He was great. Now I was trying to look him up. He's been in absolutely so much, and I don't recognise him in anything.
Yeah, he is a very famous actor. He's been in a lot of things. But I think of our age group and below, most people wouldn't have recognised him.
I did not. But instant. What a way to sort of cross generation grounds, if you want to say. And then there's another actor we haven't mentioned, which is where it was filmed. London.
It was filmed in London. Where in London was it filmed?
I would have to go back to Wikipedia to find out.
I'm assuming it was filmed in Leavesden, but I'm not sure.
It wasn't filmed. If I could just get my password right first time. Shepperton Studios, which is in Surrey. Sorry, not London. Though they did go to London for the climax, which is why if you see a bridge that looks remarkably like the Millennium Bridge, which I saw the first time, I was like, that looks like the Millennium Bridge. It's the Millennium Bridge. Another thing I thought was entertaining is they said, oh yeah, James Gunn's like, I like to use so many practical effects, and 90% of his film was visual effects.
Gamora was not.
No, I can totally imagine why. She was just makeup.
And neither was Drax. Do you know how long it took to put Drax's tattoos on?
Tell me.
4 hours.
Oh man. Yeah.
To put on.
Here's the thing. You say actors have it easy, or in some ways, remember, if they want to start filming at 8 a.m, he's up at 4 a.m. getting those tattoos put on.
And with him, he'll be up at 3 or 2 because he'll be in the gym.
Damn.
Chris Pratt, another one for a gym, lost 60 pounds for this film.
I remember reading something along the lines of in Parks and Recreation he played a very chubby guy, but in some kind of American Special Forces film he played a much more ripped soldier, and that helped him convince them that he could do this.
But actually James Gunn would have given him the job even if he hadn't lost the weight.
Really?
Yeah.
A fat Star-Lord.
Fat Pratt.
Fat Star-Lord. I could see that.
Right, I think it's time.
And also, what else that was good for? He's now engaged to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter.
No, really?
Yeah.
He just got out of was it about a year ago he got out of a relationship with Anna Faris? Wow.
So
around.
So imagine if he wasn't a sort of a gym guy.
Wow.
Yeah, Chris Pratt and Catherine Schwarzenegger. Imagine your father-in-law. Let's go to the gym. I can't go to the gym. You're not good enough.
But that's really interesting because I know he divorced his wife.
Look, times are moving. Anyway, I think it's time.
It is time.
Press the button. Release the Kraken.
Oh man.
I feel like there needs to be a mashup of this film.
We completely forgot one of the most important parts of this film.
Oh, bollocks.
The music.
We totally forgot about the music.
This film has the best soundtrack of any Marvel film.
More to the point, its soundtrack has spawned a region of film. Its soundtrack is its own character. You came away listening to the soundtrack. They released soundtracks. Do you remember in Infinity War? They released a new soundtrack song. It's like, oh shit, this is as big of a reveal as some kind of twist.
Yeah. The album was the first #1 album on the Billboard's 100 that didn't have a piece of original music in it.
Nice.
Cassette players. Sony said that people wanted cassette players and they sold cassette players. They sold the whole album on cassette.
Nice.
After this film.
I still have a cassette player back at home. Now, a very it's quite the shocking start of an opening.
Notice we had no Marvel crawl yet.
I mean, normally you have your opening sequence before that.
Depends on the film. So, like,
I suppose.
Captain America Winter Soldier, we had it before.
Yeah, no, I
Anything.
suppose.
But it matches the second one as well. The second one matches this, because the second one...
I think it depends on the pacing you want for the film. This is a new franchise, and actually I remember, who was the old writer of Doctor Who?
Stephen Moffat.
Stephen Moffat. He used to say, when you're writing, you have to treat every second as a fight against the viewer. The viewer he's just finished watching this football, he's about to go out to his pub, and you've just got his attention just as he's about to leave. You want him to come away from the door, to sit down, and to stay sitting down. Each moment is a fight. Now, for films, you're kind of stuck there. But how you start is important. Being able to kick off on this really emotional set piece, and then cut to something else, gives you not only lets you set stuff up, but also gives you a breather, and then lets you say, oh yes, time has passed, sort of thing. And it lets you kick it. Also, yeah, like a remarkably sad film for most Marvel films so far.
Yeah, like, it is a...
It's the beginning of Up in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Best granddad ever. Because he must be really upset and really...
Like, I mean, what's the right thing to do? Like, I mean, I feel like the right thing to do would not be to have the last goodbye be so close to death. But all being revealed is why...
I remember sitting in the cinema thinking, am I in the right film? Up to this point. And then this happens, and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely in the right film.
Very Steven Spielberg-like.
It
Bright
is.
lights in the face. We never see that effect again, do we?
No.
Well, actually, maybe in space a couple of times.
Here's the
And there we
one.
go. So you've got now a split. You've got your start, you've got your setup, and all stories are powered by the question, what happens next? If your reader doesn't want to know, if your watcher doesn't want to know what happens next, you failed. And now everyone's like, what happens next?
But then, another thing that these films do brilliantly is the next scene. Because
This seems
the Marvel, the Guardians of the Galaxy films are the only films that have opening credits.
What do you mean?
Only Marvel films that have opening credits.
No other films have that? Very interesting.
No.
Oh, also, total side note, just came to my mind today when I saw it on Reddit. You're welcome, by the way. All crisps have their expiry date on a Saturday.
Why?
Good luck unseeing that.
What? I might have to check this.
Now, yeah, sorry, just there you go. Yeah, it's totally true. Now, this is very comic-y. I didn't know this when I first saw it, but on rewatch, I was like, yeah, boy. Star-Lord always has that kind of mask. In the comics, it sort of slides away rather than sort of disappearing. But you know what? I'll totally accept it.
I forgot Karen Gillan's in this film.
Yeah, she is.
Karen Gillan shaved her head for this film.
Yeah. And, like, let's be honest, hair takes a while to grow back. Did she shave it or did she wear a thing?
No, she shaved it.
Wow.
She
Now,
actually shaved
Can
it.
we appreciate this? He's just using a thing to walk back in time. Like, it's a little bit weird, but the special effects are fantastic. Yeah, actually, now the more that I think about it, the less it makes sense. Like, it appears that he's seeing a recording into the past.
Yeah.
And they never ever use that again.
Nope.
But you know what? As you are.
Did Jinmon Hunsu?
Oh, the guy that we're about to see, yeah.
Yeah. He's in the new Captain Marvel film.
He's in a couple of other things. What else has he been in? He's been in other things I recognise.
I've got him right here.
There we go.
So it's all good.
Let's
So
look
he was
at-
in Gladiator, he was in Blood Diamond, he was in Fast and Furious 7.
Ah, there we go. But yeah, and now they've had a bit of a tense build-up, and sort of they're letting you get like this mystery, and now suddenly, you're just like, I'm not sure what emotion to feel. I first felt sad, then I felt suspenseful, and now he's hip thrusting.
But yeah, they don't have this. As I said, this film and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 are the only films that have opening credits. Do you remember what the opening credits is?
I do. It is Mr. Mr. Blue Sky.
Yes, it is.
What?
And I think we have to talk about the comedy in this film because, as I said earlier, Dave Bautista not as good in this film as he is in others.
This film is zany. It is funny by being zany. Like, here's the thing. The first time I saw... Like, here's the thing. If you have an actor that's dancing to this, it can go wrong so badly. It can just be like, what the hell is this? But he's so into it that you're like, okay, fine, I'll go with it. But it's a really... Now that I think about it... Oh, also, doing that thing of showing a couple of abilities beforehand. You've got to set up in suspense, so we now know he has jet boots, because he uses them later. But yeah, it's so very important to, like... I don't know, I'm only noticing this for the first time, how bizarre the first few moments are. You've got sad, you've got tense, then you've got comedy, and it's about to go to, like, awe. This is like awe, like... Ooh.
It's like thriller now, isn't it?
Not thriller, I would say this is like pure sci-fi. You're like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I don't get what it is, but it's some kind of shield. What's going to happen? And you kind of go back and say, ooh, this is cool. I'm looking at stuff I don't recognize, but I vaguely like get it along. He's almost whiplashing, but it's actually like a fun kind of whiplash. It's not like a what's going on kind of whiplash.
It's interesting that they got to hit this room much quicker than much quicker than he was able to.
I mean, if you already know the way, that's a thing.
Do you, Joshua, know the way?
Now, do you remember reading that a lot of what you think is improvised in this film is actually scripted?
I'm just a junker, man. I was just checking stuff out. My name is Peter Quill, okay? Dude, chill out. Why? Hey, you know what? There's another name you might know me by. Star-Lord.
I completely forgot about this.
Guys?
And that is so very Peter Quill. Showcasing, like, I have technology and I know how to use it. Ah. Nice. Oh, Jesus, he can really jump. That's a nice reuse of that little thing.
Yeah. Oh, the jump. Slow motion jump, that was interesting.
I like that slide. There's a lot that's... Well, this is interesting. It kind of shows, like, okay, you've got a ship in front of you, but basically handguns won't count it. Handguns won't cut it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have some kind of heavy artillery for it.
It just shows the bigger world, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, it's also showing, like, the power of the stuff that he's got. Lovely effects. Did this win any Oscars?
I don't believe so. Let me have a look. Oh, the face.
They're good on face and window. I think that was a Furby toy being bounced around. Yeah, there it is. It's a little goblin.
Again, all 80s themed for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Notice that's the t-shirt that he was wearing at the beginning of the film, the kid.
Was he?
Yeah. I don't think it won any awards. Oh, it did win some awards. Won a Grammy, won a People's Choice. Won some Vesses, won some BAFTAs.
Now, just thinking.
Oh, okay.
Just looking at that thing there, not that you saw it, but you could see as he was flying out the planet, there was a bunch of different other planets very clearly in view. For you to be able to see those planets, you would have to have a very thin atmosphere, which would explain why he's wearing his mask.
That's very clever. Two Academy Awards nominated. Best visual effects,
Hang on.
best makeup and hairstyling.
Ah.
You're a whore, man. Ain't no whore, ain't no you. Well, I was in the neighborhood. I thought I'd save you the hassle. But where you at now? I feel really bad about this, but I'm not going to tell you that. I explained it. Slave, making a big hole, listening to me, really. Not do that to each other, but rap. You got a code. Yeah, and that code is steal from everyone. When I picked you up on terror, before it's mine,
This is called Earth Terror in that.
Terror, yeah.
I stopped him. You're alive. Talk to me. I will find you. I will. What about it all? 40K. But I want it.
That's Sean Gunn.
Alive.
What?
That's James Gunn's brother.
Oh, and he stood in for Rocket Raccoon.
Yep.
Which is why I've seen the photos of him crouching down.
Yep.
Everyone sees this glowing thing. Once again, introducing this thing. Bit of tension, what is that? Ooh.
Who else out there wants that? Oh.
And this is the first time we see the Dark Aster.
Yeah. Do we see it again?
Well, yes, in this film.
Okay, not in this film. Is the Dark Aster an important thing in the universe?
I'm not sure.
I remember.
But I can tell you now, he is.
They call me terrorist. Radical. So, because I obey the ancient laws.
He is Ronan the Accuser.
Mm. What was that? I remember in the first Guardians of the Galaxy arc of the sort of the revamp arc, they were sort of fighting basically Inquisitors, but their belief was their power. If they said, I believe that bullets cannot harm me, and their belief was strong enough, bullets couldn't hurt them, and they had entire ships powered by devotees. It was a cool concept.
My government knows such shit. The Darians and your culture are a disease.
Again, Xandar is a big part of this film and also a big part of
I will.
the comic books.
Nova and Xander were very, very important in the comics. Of course, they considered trying to get into Infinity War, but they decided it didn't work.
Didn't have time.
Yeah. But not having time is almost the same as it not working.
True. There is Nebula. You know the story of Nebula?
I mean, in the films, yes. In the comics, I don't.
So Nebula is, in here, the daughter of Thanos, actually the granddaughter in the comics. Made mostly out of robotic parts. Because her father/grandfather decided she's not worthy of keeping them.
This is all comics. Ah, they followed that quite nicely.
I think it's all comics.
Those eyes were great. Sort of black eyes, machine eyes.
Well, you know why they're called the children of Thanos, daughter of Thanos?
But would they be in the Children of Thanos?
They are children of Thanos, yes.
No, not children of Thanos.
Yes.
The children.
Yes, do you know why?
Go on.
Because children of Thanos is the one with the one soul of that species they've kept alive.
What do you mean?
When he's decimated planets,
Yeah.
they're the one person he's kept alive. He takes it like a trophy, like a relic.
So
And they are-
all the other big brutes were relics and trophies that he kept. Wow. Oh, I remember his thing. Rocket Raccoon, right?
What is this thing?
You're gonna hear him say the word "Dast," which is
Walk by yourself, you little gargoyle. Look at Mr. Smile.
there he is.
Where's your wife, old man? What a class A.
Another reference to Hugh Hefner. Hang on a sec.
God, it feels weird to see Groot in full form.
That's you, Dan. I just saw you doing it.
So basically, whether he says it now or before, he says the word "Dast." That's basically the swear word of the universe.
Oh, really?
How bad does someone want to fight? 40,000 units? We're gonna be great.
But yeah, it's basically the swear word of the comic universe, and there's a lot of very small references to the comic they've thrown. Dast is one of them.
Okay.
telling me that you got the best eyebrows in the business. What is it? It's my policy never to discuss my clients or their needs. Yeah, well, I almost died getting it for you.
Again, it's just great.
But also such a great character. Occupational hazard, like most indifferent, like it's like everyone now scared of Ronin, but it's also like in one line you get his kind of thing like, I don't care if you die for it, as long as you give it to me, I'll pay you, and that's kind of how it works.
Is that hand movable door shutters on his shop?
Alexa, open the shutter doors.
Alexa, cannot do it that right now. Fuck you, Joshua.
I'm sorry, Peter, I can't do that. Is she eating an avocado?
I don't know what she's eating.
It'd be fun if she was.
That was easy. So you know that kick that she just did?
Yeah.
She bruised. So they had practiced. They had practiced the fight scene in rehearsals, and they'd had like armor plating on.
Yeah. And then they took it.
No. Chris Pratt didn't tell Zoe Saldana that he was wearing his plating.
And so she kicked him real hard.
He had to bruise there for the rest of the film.
Oof. That's impressive.
Ooh.
Could have taken his fingers off.
Yep.
That's a remarkably well-timed jump. Nice.
Oh.
Quit smiling, you idiot. You're supposed to be professional. You gotta be kidding.
Fighting a tree. Oh. Taking the tree's arms off. Oh.
I live for the simple things. Like how much is this gonna hurt?
Oh.
Yeah, right, little man. Don't grow back, you idiot. Quit whining.
You daft idiot, that was it.
And here comes
To be fair.
the Nova Corps.
To be fair, that was the most least destructive shoot-up I've seen in a Marvel film.
Of the authority of the Nova Corps, you are under arrest. Come on out of here.
Oh look.
Hey! It isn't Stark, Prince. Stark, Lord. Oh, Stark, Lord. I picked this guy up a while back for petty theft.
John C. Reilly.
Indeed.
He has worked with Will Ferrell quite a bit. He was in
He literally
Blade.
looks like Will Ferrell.
He was in Blades of Glory. He was in Step Brothers. He was in the new Sherlock Holmes thing that Will Ferrell did.
Oh god, that looked awful. Did they do any well?
I don't know.
It looked very mediocre. Come on, Britain, get some new IPs that aren't Harry Potter.
Roman is destroying their outposts throughout the galaxy. I should think that would call for some slight response on the part.
You signed your peace treaty with us, what more do you need?
At least the sacred of the Greek Empire say that they condemn his actions. He is slaughtering children.
So that's very important now as they're talking about the Kree. Again, the Kree are very important throughout the entire Marvel universe.
Yeah, we're going to see more about them in... Well, we've seen them doing all... They're doing all the fighting, right? In all the Avengers, right? Yeah,
Kree?
Yeah, I know, that's the bad guys in the Avengers film.
Which one?
The first, the Avengers.
No, that wasn't. That's the Chitauri.
That's the one, right, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Look at this.
Ooh.
10% critic, 27% audience. Yeah, look crap.
so subject 89P13, aka Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Some really interesting one. Species Flora colossus.
Now, in the comics, Groot is actually a genius. He is actually...
Okay, what I like about this, it says Space Lord, alias Space Lord.
Oh,
That was improvised.
was it?
Yeah.
Huh. What a bunch of a-holes.
Do you remember that in the trailer?
Yeah, they blanked it out. They also blurred out his finger in the trailer. And they actually built this prison.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't actually
they
build
didn't
the
build a space
prison.
prison, but they built 350,000 sort of like tons or pounds of like steel.
Really?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so here's a question. Do you think prisons like this will exist in the future?
I mean, Australia, they literally turned an island into a prison with Australia. Like, why can't you turn a spaceship into a prison? Honestly, it kind of makes the most sense because not only can prisons not go anywhere, it's also like free, easy space. Yeah, I could easily see space prisons in the future.
So this orb has real shiny blue case Ark of the Covenant, Maltese Falcon sort of vibe.
That's a lot of references.
So what?
Ark of the Covenant.
Maltese Falcon.
Pretty high and mighty coming from the lad given genocide, but yeah, I know. Anyone
There's just loads and loads of 80s references in this.
said that.
I wasn't retrieving the orb from I was betrayed. I had an agreement to sell it to a third party.
They did say, I remember reading they said like they discovered Groot. The eyes would be the key to showing Groot because so little else was conveyed by what his face.
Also, like in the way he enunciates things, of course.
Exclusively in that order. Now, yeah, in the comics, Groot is like, oh, hang on.
He's gonna put on his Walkman.
What song is he playing?
He's playing Hooks of the Feeling.
That comes later.
Too sweet. 1973, that song belongs to me.
Hooked on a feeling.
Again, this song, I think, sold like 8 or 9 times.
Oh yeah, and also, was this the one we also sang like going on roller coasters?
I think so. Why do they make them orange, do you think?
I don't know. To make it look unnatural and spacey.
Oh, goodness.
What were we talking about just before? The music. Oh yeah, in the comics, Groot is basically a prince of his race. Oh, nice cybernetics. Yeah, they said they wanted to make him look Mangian, not like sort of Looney Tunes in the Avengers universe. They wanted him to look like a Mongol. Yeah, Groot's actually like super intelligent, and in some places, like another character who can understand and goes like, Groot's like, I am Groot. Like, yes, I do believe that the foreign parties can be reimbursed. That is absolutely genius.
That's amazing.
But yeah, in this they took Iron Groot to be very silly. I mean, this is the thing that I've had a problem with it. I saw the film and I kind of liked it. But then there's just one out of place white hole there. But then the more I'm like, okay, Groot is meant to be smart. Rocket Raccoon, that's basically him. But Gamora, she's also meant to be like a lot more badass, and I don't think they do enough justice to that in the film.
Not in this one.
Even in the other. Well, actually, I haven't seen the other one a second time. But honestly, like, she doesn't do enough justice to exactly.
What about Infinity War?
She doesn't really do much in Infinity War.
Oh, I remember this scene.
Yeah. And now you're showing exactly how powerful Groot is.
Let's make something clear. This one is our booth. You want to get to him, you go through us. Or, for actually, we go through you.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
And that's how you make a statement in prison.
He must be very happy. Kind of.
I mean, he is, on the one hand, found himself some protection. On the other hand, he's found some protection with people who do not really like him.
That's the first look we get of
Nice little lighting they got going there to highlight him.
Drax the Destroyer. Look at those tattoos.
Peter Quill just eyes open like, fuck me. Scratch the belly. Perfect. Yeah, so basically, like, Gamora is supreme at hand-to-hand fighting. I can't understand how a couple of them would have managed to jump her. Oh, I like that, the fur squished on one side. The other thing is, like, there's a bit where Drax is about to corner her, and she doesn't even try fighting Drax, and I feel like she and Drax overfight.
Consider this a death sentence for your crimes against the galaxy. You dare!
There's a lot of backing off from the ooh, they're scary.
Indeed.
Drax.
Ex-WWE wrestler Batista here. World champion.
What was his final move?
Batista Bomb.
What was that, like a jump on people?
No, he sort of picks them up and then sort of has their legs on his shoulders and drops them down.
A bit like a... Okay. Does he ever do that in any of the films?
Don't think so. Don't know. Don't remember. World champion. And then he left. Pursue a film career.
I mean, he had a long time there. Now, I don't understand why she even bothered trying to save him, because she knows he wants to kill her. She has no reason to let him live. She might as well just...
No one speak nothing to me.
Hey. You know, killing Roman is truly your sole purpose. I don't think this is the best way to go about it.
And now we get the funny side of Batista.
She's hardly the first one I tried to do that. Look, this is like from a smoking hot Rayjack girl stabbing with a fork and like sleeping out on sunrise. I got right here, a Cree girl tried to rip out the fork.
Cree. Yeah.
Seen on Samaria, tentacles and eagles, which I think I'm seriously interested in that. You know, but here's the point. She betrayed Roman. He's coming back for her.
He just...
That's
Oh, hang on.
oh, this is simple. See, this is simple. Slice. Oh, God, it's a general expression for you. You've heard this. You see this, right? You know what that is. Yeah, everyone knows. No. What I'm saying is, you want to keep her alive.
Now, he doesn't really have a reason to trust her, because she said she betrayed Ronan, but she has no real reason to prove that.
Yeah. So why would he trust her?
I think it's a film hole. Like, for the same reason that when she had a knife, there's no reason she didn't kill him. He's an adversary that wants to kill her. She should just do it fast. That was my favorite knife. Like, Drax, he has no reason to believe that she's betrayed. But the other good thing that this film does is, it still has them arguing, even if they believe, like, the premise of what they're saying. And that's sort of what helps them sort of keep coming together as a team.
Because again, they are really 5 misfits.
Yeah, they are. And the great thing about this is they slowly come together as a team, even if it takes a bit of leap of logic of, why did you believe her and why did this happen? It does.
Sleep for the danger, awake for the money.
So we've seen this guy before.
We saw him in Avengers, the spokesperson.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of our clue to the link between Ronan and Thanos.
Thanos requires your presence.
Your presence? Yes, please.
I'm sure Thanos requires your silence and your presence.
So here's a question. In Infinity War, which I know is a little bit down the line. Oh, just before we get there, no one knew that Josh Brolin was in this film. Josh Brolin got cast for this film at the last moment.
Was he?
Yeah. And then he went to Comic-Con and held the Thanos gauntlet up. Oof!
I only ask that you take this matter seriously.
Great.
I not take seriously, boy. It's you.
Again, you can see how old the CGI is, but that is still Josh Brolin, and that is still Thanos. Question for you. If, in Infinity War, Thanos goes to get all the Infinity Stones,
Yeah.
why does he send other people to do it? Why? What's the point?
Why does he or why doesn't he?
Why does he send other people?
It's a good question, and I've never really had that explained, because when you have the ability to teleport wherever you want, why don't you just teleport and do everything yourself? Like, why do you send spaceships to do your work for you?
Well, he didn't have the Tesseract at the time.
He did. He had at the start of Infinity War. So, at the start of Infinity War gets a Tesseract, but after that, there's no reason, as far as I can tell, for him to send spaceships around. He might as well just teleport himself.
He seems lazy.
So a couple of things could be: A, lazy; B, he's conscious that while the Infinity Stones might have infinite power, his gauntlet does not. And the more he uses his gauntlet, the more it's liable to break. And he basically doesn't want it to break until he's finished what he's doing. So he's loath to use it unless absolutely necessary. And that's one of the arguments for when Stormbreaker's flying at Thanos, why Thanos doesn't just unleash the full power of the gauntlet on it, because he was feared.
He does unleash the full power of the gauntlet on it.
So it's proposed that he only unleashed the Force Stone on it, and not the full power, because he was afraid the full power would work, but then he wouldn't have a gauntlet.
It was definitely more than one stone, because there was colours. You saw the animation on it. There was definitely colours coming out of it.
Anyway, it was a theory.
Figure it out. Everything is going to slave it to
Right. I like this thing of Groot in the background, because in the next film, Groot in the foreground becomes the game.
I love this scene because he's just like, oh, we need to get this battery. Whack. We can get that first little thing later. But
Yeah?
so, is this the first prison escape?
In Marvel?
Yeah.
Um,
Is this the only prison escape in Marvel?
I think we can't call it prison.
Can you?
Kidnapped, Iron Man 3 was kidnapped. You can say Captain America was kind of in a prison.
He looks like Goliath there.
I mean, look, this is literally him. Those robots have no business being so close, unless they're trying to avoid shooting other people, but they're not doing a good job of it. Like, bullets are going everywhere, and he's running into it.
See, what I love about this is I do remember this trailer quite fondly.
Oh yeah?
I remember this trailer quite fondly, and I remember
Roar! Why would you throw the gun at him? Can we appreciate that was a very wrestling move, the fly kick in the
It
air.
was, but he never did anything like that.
But here's the thing, the wrestling moves, even if he's not doing his wrestling moves,
See, this I remember from the trailer.
yeah, the spinning around.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, that's what I mean by I remember the trailer quite fondly, is because I remember all of these little snippets in the trailer. Oh.
You on what? That's nice.
Now he's about to go and get an eye, yes? That's what
No,
she's
he
doing.
wanted. No, he wanted the leg, and he later jokes about eye.
I'll figure something out.
Drop the leg.
Those are very poorly made drones, and there's an awful lot of guns that are accessible to prisoners.
To be fair, do you think they need to be shot down by a gun? They would. I think when you're making those drones, I don't think you need to shoot them down with a gun.
Well, in all honesty, yeah, they probably don't anticipate a Groot being in prison. But that being said,
Did you just say they don't anticipate a Groot being in prison?
I mean, no one anticipated Groot being in prison. But they should probably have heavier weaponry suitable of taking down some kind of, like, giant like that.
Probably, to be honest.
This is nice.
Especially-
Oh yeah, they actually had, like, a Groot on set and a Raccoon on.
They had Groot on set.
Well, they had, like, not a Groot on set, they had a, they basically had something on set that they could play against.
Yes, but they also had.
I feel like there's some kind of obvious line there, but I couldn't hear it.
Do you need a leg up, probably? Again,
It's the Guardians.
that's the first view of the Guardians, isn't it?
Well, doing their Guardians thing.
Doing their. We're gonna be the Space Avengers thing.
Well, they're not doing Space Avengers, but they're doing the hero pose.
Stand here, pal case woman.
Why is this one here?
Promise me you can stay by your side until he kills your boss. I always keep my promises. Here you go. Oh, I was just kidding about the leg. I didn't think you did this. What? No, I thought it'd be funny. Was it funny? No, wait, what did he look like? I'll be around. Transfer of 30,000 units.
And that joke is what led on to Infinity War. Like, oh man, Rocket Raccoon has a thing for like weird prosthetic things. Guess what Winter Soldier has?
Hell, he has an eye.
Walking thesaurus on that one.
He has an eye in his pocket for Thor as well.
It's just a metaphor, dude.
But also, you saw.
Nice.
Metaphors are gonna go over his head. Nothing goes
It's over my head.
like reflex.
Too fast. Catch it.
But for the Rocket and Star-Lord fighting type thing, you just saw it there recently.
Yeah.
You saw them bicker a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, why did you get the leg? You didn't need the leg. That is very heavily played in both Volume 2 and Infinity War.
And we'll have to wait for Volume 3 because they got rid of James Gunn.
They did. We're going to talk about that now.
Might as well. Volume 3 was meant to come out next year in 2020.
And they got rid of James Gunn, yeah?
Yeah, and so that's been that has been postponed. Now this is something that would actually kind of happen. So in theory, they've just turned the gravity off, but everything in orbit, there's always acceleration. So things are always moving. And so the ship has actually moved away from them.
Rather than they're moving away from the ship, they're in the same place.
Correct. And that is the problem.
Do you think they can do
A film without him?
a film without James Gunn?
I think they can, but it won't be the Guardians as you know, and this is why it's taking so long.
We know Batista said that he's not going to do it.
What? Because the Gunn's not part of it. I mean, give it a try. Like, they've hijacked.
They've hijacked like a warning.
They've hijacked a control tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's very Guardians. So here's the thing: depending on who they get, Batista might join back. And to be fair, Gunn has a very bad reputation for being a bit of an a-hole, as they would call it.
Oh really?
I mean, like, you know why he was fired, right?
Yeah, for tweets he posted 10 years ago.
But outside of that, he has a reputation for being a bit of an a-hole.
Right.
Now, here's the thing: people tolerate a-holes, but sometimes things come along and it just makes just makes things a bit too hard. Take Jeremy Clarkson and BBC. BBC really likes Top Gear, highest grossing franchise. Unfortunately, he punched a guy.
And therefore had to get rid of him.
Yeah, and so fine, they got rid of their biggest franchise, but they sort of had to, and that's the unfortunate of life. And the saddest thing actually is for Jeremy Clarkson, knowing that effectively his behaviour was the reason why both his current series and the last series, his old series, are going downhill.
So,
can they replace it? Just shoot him. There you go. You don't run at someone with a gun. That's a bad idea. No bullets in this film. So,
Can they do it without James Gunn?
so the thing that James Gunn has done is he's set up and very well established what the Guardians universe looks like. So if someone wanted to come along with something similar, do pina colada, they could try, but evidently they would lack his touch for it. Oh, it's a hard one.
Oof.
Why would you knock him out with that? Oh, if you shot him with the electricity, it would probably break the recorder.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, can they go without him? I'm sure with enough money and time they could try, but it wouldn't be Guardians kind of as we know it. It would have to be something different.
Yes, absolutely.
And maybe the thing is, maybe Volume 3 is not Guardians as we know it, it's more crossovers, it's more other kinds of films. Why would you just give your precious thing to a guy with no metaphorical sense?
So you see how that is, that the cassette, and we saw it said the word Walkman on it.
Yeah.
It's actually, at this point in time, when he got that, it's not called a Walkman.
Oh, it's cool.
So in America, it was called the Soundabout.
Nice.
And in the UK, it was called a Stowaway.
That sounds ominous.
What's the box gonna do? How about this one? No, hey, leave it alone. Shut up. Hey. What was that? That's what things that really love. Don't you want to blow up?
No one's blown up movies.
I'd be interested to see where they go with it. I mean, we've already seen the Guardians crossover things. Crossed over with Iron Man, that happens in the comics.
How much do you trust me?
I don't think they will, though. I think if anyone, it'll be Thor.
Look, honestly, I could see it being anything.
I think they're going to be really important for Phase 4.
I mean, I think they are, but I don't know if it's for story reasons. I think it's because they're a very popular series of characters. And also, they are their own crossovers. Each one of them could have their own background story.
Yeah.
This is like the Avengers of completely new characters. And that's actually kind of impressive when you think about how much groundwork went into making the Avengers. For them to come out with an Avengers film, introduce all the characters straight, and have a good film out of it? Beauty.
Yeah, DC couldn't do it.
You know who else tried that? Suicide Squad. You know how they went?
DC? Justice League?
Sorry,
Even Justice League as well?
Suicide Squad even started well, and then just... So the hardest bit James Gunn, I remember saying, was introducing the characters. And I can understand that, because you want to make every introduction perfect. God, that is a big shit.
Yeah, they're doing a sequel for Suicide Squad.
Yay.
Do you know who's directing it?
Oh, it's James Gunn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, okay, this could work. Yeah, I remember he was fired, and then like a day or two later he was picked up by DC.
Yep, absolutely. If you're gonna fire one of the top guys from
I mean, did they have to fire him? Let me look up the circumstances.
I don't think they did, to be honest. I don't think they had to fire him, but
You might as well just destroy the prison. You don't need to. Oh, I love this bit.
But first of all, tell me what this all is and why everybody cares so damn much about it.
That thing on the left is I'm pretty sure it's a real piece of art.
what the replica Tesseract, yeah?
Hang on. The high-end boobly bubbly boo. Bubbly bubbly boo.
High-end community is of any type.
Bubbly boo.
I cannot possibly betray.
That's how you speak normally, right?
Of my buyers.
It's such a lovely thing.
Oh,
And there we see like, oh, we've seen this before. This is why everyone's so fucking scared of it.
the whistle stick.
Now, who again is this Byron?
How do you know?
Yes, Master.
There are people who have elbows, do they not?
You do, Master.
Then use them. I don't have to remind you what happened to the last of
Now, this is not the first time we see him.
Of course not. Oh wait, that's just grim as fuck. Can we just point out? This guy is not a nice guy.
But this is not the first time we see him.
When did we see him before? Oh, did we see him at the end of Thor?
Indeed,
2?
Thor: The Dark World,
Okay.
the Ether, which is the Infinity Stone. I think we're missing out on our current list of films at the moment. He owns the Ether, and then he ominously says, "1 down, 5 to go." James Gunn, what was he fired?
Hang on.
Oh, so do you know where they're going?
Yes, this is Nowhere is a fantastically huge part of the comics.
Go on.
It is a central point for so much of
Why?
the comics. That is just where their base is. It's the head of a Celestial.
That's the important bit.
I mean,
it's the head of a Celestial.
Yeah, Celestials being these old, really huge creatures that used to dominate the universe, and this is in the head, they have an entire city in the head.
Yeah.
The head of security of Nowhere was a dog called Nowhere head of security. God, what was it? Basically, it's Cosmo the space dog, and you see him in the collector's thing. He and Rocket just do not get on, and you see them growling each other. It's a nice little. That's probably James Gunn's daughter, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
Or like usually when it's little kids, they choose someone who it is. Also, Cosmo is psychic and tears the crap out of everyone. It's great. Groot is like, this is awful, what am I cheering for? That almost mimics the start of the second film.
Yes, it does. This is the first Marvel film, first Marvel Studios film, Joshua, without a kissing scene.
I mean, thank God for that, because it was overly... don't get me wrong, this scene is very, very good in terms of character development, but not a fan of it being so on the nose. But then again, what is it?
What is what, sorry?
It's very forward and... it's very, obvious. There's a lot of exposition, and there's a lot of, very on-the-face exposition. This is who my dad was, this is how I was brought up. Oh man, this is how my mum was, this is how I was brought up. Okay, so... It was a thing hang on. So, tweets that surfaced a decade ago, of him making jokes, and he was saying back in the day my jokes were very
crude.
Yeah, he basically he made humor out of taboo topic, and lots of humorists do that. But I want to see what kind of the things were.
I think it was LGBT stuff.
Pedophilia, rape.
Do you think it was deserved? Or did Disney just have no choice?
The others were satirical comments about 9/11, AIDS, and the Holocaust. I feel like you have a duty... we're not beholden to our past. Everyone says stupid things when they're younger. And honestly, I remember a while ago there was this awful case where, a young girl was, 16 or 18, was given, the role of having, some kind of police and liaison job. And tweets surfaced which, were kind of dodgy. They were, for several years ago. And basically the police dropped her and they're like, no, we're not touching you. And, the opinions that well, fair enough. The opinions I generally agreed with said, you're basically accusing her of the crime of being young. The difference is, when you were young, stuff you would say would be forgotten. Now, when we're young, the stuff we say will stay around forever.
Yeah.
Oh, and everything goes to pieces inside too.
So do you think that...
So, that being said, we're not beholden to ourselves when we're young, but you should know that when you make these kinds of jokes, you're doing it for a very specific kind of reaction. Should you be responsible for going into your past and deleting those tweets? I mean, there are literally people who go down your Twitter list, you pay them, and they'll say, these are completely unacceptable. These are things that can come up. And James Gunn, if this was his first big film, should have gone, actually, this is who I want to establish myself. I'm working with Disney. These are the kind of things I want. Indeed, actually, you could argue it's also on Disney's place to say, this is how we sort of want you to present yourself. We don't find it acceptable to me. We want you to make sure that your past is relatively clean or apologize for these kinds of things. Should they have fired him? It's a business decision.
So it brings up the comment on Kevin Hart at the Oscars.
Go on.
Kevin Hart quit being at the Oscars over recent tweets as well. Quit being the Oscars host.
Really? And what kind of tweets were they?
I'm not entirely sure.
God. Old homophobic tweets.
But
hang on, let's have a look. So, okay.
there he is.
That's
Cosmo.
Growl.
That's Chitauri. Did you see the Chitauri?
Mm-hmm. Also, all around asshole.
Benedict del Toro.
He says he's apologised from the past, he's not going to go back. Yeah, nothing good comes out of Twitter, let's just be real.
Twitter's not too bad.
Except on Twitter. He did the original Scooby-Doo in 2002.
Who, James Gunn?
And Scooby-Doo 2.
Wow. I like that film.
That was pretty good. And then Thor: The Dark World. Oh, uncredited director? Maybe he did
Yes, he would have done the last scene.
Mid-credit scene, yeah. I also did some work on Guardians of the Doctor Strange, sorry. Should he have been fired? We're still... As a world, I guess we're still trying to get to grips with, your old stuff can come back and haunt you. Don't get me wrong, it's a shame. Like, I think there should be some kind of thing of... As far as I can tell, that was totally accidental.
It was entirely accidental.
But he stayed in character.
Yep. So this scene is a very important scene in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Very, very, very important.
Okay.
Because no one who hadn't read the comics knew what Infinity Stones were at the time.
Correct.
This is the first time we have seen the Tesseract again as an Infinity Stone. This is the Ether again seen as...
But specifically, it links them as Infinity Stones, not just these things that people are fighting over.
Correct. There's the type. There's the...
I don't think that's a Celestial. Celestials are a lot bigger than that. So it's some kind of Titan. I'm sure that's some kind of very old comic thing. Like, especially because they looked sort of old-fashioned things.
You're all very fascinating, right? You like to get paid. How would you like to get paid? What do you think, man? Do this. Ready up. Stand back.
I will no longer be your slave.
No!
So Karina, in the comics, is the collector's daughter.
Except that here she's
Or
literally a
granddaughter,
slave.
I can't remember which one. But yes, in here she's just literally a slave. Ooh. Not the nicest of
Nope.
ways to die.
But it does very nicely show off the power of what they're dealing with.
Yeah, it does.
See, Groot set a new line there. Roar!
Collector's not dead, which is interesting. And there's Cosmo.
I like that they took so long to unclip it, but all you have to do is turn it back and just push it together. Yeah, that's what I had to deal with when I was younger. It's a messenger bag. It's a man bag, Josh.
We cannot allow the stone to fall into Ron's hands. We have to go back to your ship and deliver it to Nova.
His ship called the Milano. Do you know why?
After the hot chocolate. Go on.
There was a celebrity who was Peter Quill's crush when he was younger. I think it was celebrity or it was someone who was Peter Quill's crush. So I think it's Ashley Milano.
Now, how they got there that fast, I'm not sure. And everything goes wrong at once. Which is how films are good. Everything goes wrong at once.
Ronan the accuser, you are the one who translated the message. You killed my wife. You killed my
He's huge.
Who, Batista?
Yeah.
Yep, he is.
I told you can't think. Wait here, I'll be back.
So you know what this is? TIE Fighters.
By another name, by another sound. Imagine that. Trying to get your vengeance to just being ignored.
Yeah. Oof. He's getting his ass kicked.
They are a bit like TIE Fighters.
They're exactly like TIE Fighters. They are literally TIE Fighters.
That's interesting. It's an interesting sort of fighting. Also, the effects are top notch.
Oh!
Get decked. Yeah, Nova plays a huge part in it, like people talking through space and time. That's great. Also, Nova is one of the other Marvel comics. It's another comic series.
Really?
Different character. So Nova, though they portray them here as mostly being like humans and stuff, yeah, there's a whole bunch of other like superheroes that belong in Nova and do Nova things.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And actually, there's one point where Drax goes a little rogue, and not that I've read Nova before, but a bunch of them that basically they introduce a bunch of characters that look too well put out just to be like random one-offs, and I realized like, Nova has its own series. They're a bit like a more lawful good Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy are more chaotic good.
Right, okay. Interesting.
Very interesting. So you're in a ship. You're piloting a ship in a ship in a ship. Piloting a ship in a ship.
Piloting a ship in another ship.
Piloting a ship in a ship.
These ones have better guns.
bizarre. Like at this power level, Ronan should never have any trouble from.
Oh!
I'm still not sure what her game plan is. So far, it is just run away.
She can't go into upper atmosphere. She has to just try and get to.
Yeah, but going into free space is a bad idea because the only reason they weren't able to shoot you there is because they had like they were hemmed in and stuff. Now you're literally free targets. That was not a good idea.
If Ronan gets the stone, he'll kill us all. No. You'll already be dead.
Oh dear. So what is that of?
I think it is celestial brain fluid, which makes it sound as an appetizer.
Yeah. Ronan the
Accuser. Do you think
Ronan the very scary stary?
Scary. Do you think Ronan is a good bad guy for this?
I think he has good qualities about him.
Not when I say good, I don't strictly mean like he works for good. That is, he is an entertaining character.
I think he is an entertaining character. I think that there is not a lot of depth with him. He feels very much like the Iron Giant Juggernaut from the first Iron Man.
You mean the guy who what's his face eventually played?
Yeah.
I think so. Like Marvel films are renowned for not really giving huge amounts of depth to things. Now, he shouldn't be holding his breath because that's how your lungs explode.
So you should be breathing normally?
So basically, you don't die quickly in space. There's a lot of things that will go wrong. Firstly...
Well, that's not true. You definitely die quickly in space because you either freeze or burn at -1 plus 300 degrees Celsius.
Heat conducts very, very slowly. So basically, it takes a long while for you to freeze out. What will actually happen first is you'll suffocate. That's a guarantee. Secondly, like your blood will have all sorts of weird pressure. But if you breathe out before you open the spacesuit, because all the air in your lungs is going to try and escape, yeah, you don't like die in seconds. You can last for like a couple of minutes. But obviously, it makes for good drama.
What now? Because...
Oh, but as for whether Ronan's a good one, most Marvel villains don't really get their time. Mostly they're bad guys who want to do bad guy things because they're bad. Thanos, on the other hand, there's an entire subreddit, Thanos wasn't wrong, which just showed how well you can do bad guys if you really want to.
But I think that...
Welcome on, Peter.
Oh. Yeesh.
That is pretty yeesh.
Yeah.
But then again, for Groot to know how to help someone, he's pretty intelligent.
Yeah.
Quill just got himself captured. None of this ever would have happened if you didn't try to single-handedly take on a freaking army!
Wow. You actually come to a realization. He has experience to do that to you.
Near death, I'm pretty sure he was dead.
I mean, considering he's alive now, I want to call him near dead.
Look, the other thing I have to marvel at is the makeup. No pun intended there. Because the fact is, they've spent 4 hours making this guy up, putting a tattoo on him, and they shove him in a vat of thick water, and none of it comes off.
They've done a good job with it. Though I do remember the Russo brothers saying, like, the first thing that happens in all scene is that most of the characters with makeup need touching up. Like, there's scenes in the stuff that need to be digitally moved. So there is, like, digital sides of it. But yeah.
Maybe we'll be able to live full lives before that whack job ever gets there. Save them? How? I know you're the only friend we ever had. But there's an army of ravages around now. And there's only
Now, Raccoon's reasoning is, like, the most reasonable of all the other characters. He's like, as long as I live my life, that's all that matters. So let's go far enough away and then try and live a life out.
But he wants to help people. He doesn't want to help people, whereas Groot does.
You're right, he doesn't instinctively, but as sort of is shown later, he has good to him, but he spent his whole life just being like the runt of everything, the bunt of every joke, that he doesn't really, like, feel like he owes the galaxy anything.
Well, I wouldn't do that if I were you. That's very, very relevant to the fact that it's the Power Stone.
Also, with one Infinity Stone, does that make him the most powerful being in the universe at this point? Probably. Also, considering Thanos gave away his stone.
Yes, it would make him at this moment in time the most powerful man in the universe. Apart from... Oh, I don't know, does Doctor Strange count?
Does he have it yet? Where is he, so?
The Eye of Agamotto is sitting in one of the libraries. The Loki's staff is sitting with Baron Strucker. The Tesseract's in Asgard.
Who's Baron Strucker
Do
again?
you not remember at the end of Captain America, this Winter Soldier, they had like the people running around, and then there was the main villain.
Yes,
Baron Strucker, yeah, so him. Tesseract is on Asgard, so no one's got it. And the Aether is with the Collector. So yes, actually, this would make him the most powerful being in the galaxy, because he's using an Infinity Stone at this moment in time.
This is also very well reasoned. I also really like this argument. It's really in character. It's really forceful.
Listen to me. Roman has something called an Infinity Stone. Then you know we must get it back. He's going to use it to wipe out Xandar. We have to warn them. Millions of people to perish. You know what's in the food.
Gentlemen, either way, you're burning like maggots.
How very redneck.
I really love his irises in this. They're very cool. Goes very well with his theme.
Let's go. She knows everything there is to know about his ships, his army. Like you say, they come side by side, they kill
We haven't really spoken about much of the music.
No.
Again, we keep forgetting, even though we really love the music in this, we just haven't really spoken about it. So what have we heard so far? We've heard Hooked on a Feeling, which we like at the beginning. We've heard Come Get Your Love by Redbone. We've heard...
Oh, hang on. Rocket Raccoon doing that thing.
The lunatic about the business is only a haze-rod enforcer. I was good at my own design. Well, if you want to hand over our companions now, who's the day you should have known? A very big door. I'm giving you to the count of 5. 5. Oh, please! Rocket, it's me. For God's sake, you figured it out. We're fine.
So we've heard Hooked on a Feeling, we've heard Fooled Around and Fell in Love. We've heard so many good songs in this, and there's still more to come.
I gotta be honest, Mr. Blue Sky is just a favourite of mine generally. So I'm very excited for that in the next film, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's probably the only thing I'm excited for.
Kurt Russell's in that film. I like Kurt Russell.
Oh, he's pretty good. At least his reasoning was a little more explained.
So this is the most famous scene in the film, isn't it? Circle of Idiots. When Rocket Raccoon gets up, he puts sort of his hands in his trousers.
Mm-hmm.
Very Picard thing to do.
Hang on, where's the music?
12%?
Hooked on a Feeling, Go All the Way, Spirit in the Sky.
Oh, Spirit in the Sky. They didn't use Spirit in the Sky in the film, which really disappoints me because it's such a good song.
Exception of Spirit in the Sky, which is played in the trailer.
Yeah.
Montar, Moonage Daydream, David Bowie, Fooled Around, Fell in Love.
Yeah, we've heard that one already.
Unknown Love, I Want You Back.
We haven't heard this yet.
Is that later?
Yeah. Of course it is, Joshua. You must remember where I Want It Back is used. Until we get there.
Okay, well I'm sure I'll hear
Oh wow.
Cherry Bomb.
Cherry Bomb is going to come up very soon. It's the beginning of this
Oh yeah, it's
this fight scene.
It's a dressing up scene.
Yeah.
The Escape, Ooh Child.
Ooh Child.
Ooh Child. That's about coming up. Ain't no mountain high now.
Last song of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Ish. Apart from credits. There's just some really good music. Do you have a playlist of this music?
I don't. I do like 80s songs, don't get me wrong. 60s, 70s, 80s things, I think there's a lot of great stuff there. I don't really do playlists though, to be fair. I just have my library and I just press play.
But have you listened to the album before?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
That would have been a good prep thing. Alright, I'll do it tomorrow,
I'm disappointed. So I'm very disappointed. Because you know all these songs and you've heard these songs before.
Yeah.
Hit where he puts his hands. He's going to put his hands in his pockets when he starts getting up to talk.
Very Picard.
Yeah. Right. Who is the weakest member on the team?
I want to say Gamora. I think Groot has won you over with being silly and funny and weird. I think Raccoon has won you over by being crass and violent and kooky. Hey, it's also doing that pausing thing.
It's very rare that it does this.
Yeah, it does it every time. It gives us time to talk. Drax has won you over by being funny and by looking fantastic. And I think Quill has won us over has won me over by being engaging, by having a nice little gadget. He's a good character. Gamora's the weakest one on the team, and she doesn't need to be in the comics. Oh dear.
This is the first time we've had an error occur during our rewatch.
Oh well, we've encountered technical difficulties.
Okay, anyway.
We'll resume. Honestly, in terms of she's meant to be a badass, but she gets very soppy very quickly. Like, she's meant to have it drilled out of her, everything, but she gets real soppy really quickly. She's meant to be a kick-ass fighter, but we don't really see her do much fighting as of yet. There's like barely a couple of moments where it happens. Honestly, yeah, I consider her the weakest character, and I don't think it should be the case. Like, I think she has a lot to give, and I think that she could have been a whole lot more. What about you? Where do you sit on it?
I actually think that it's Drax.
Okay.
I think that, ironically, the strongest character is also the weakest character on the team. I don't think he brings that much to the team.
Okay. Yeah, actually, no. Okay, you're talking about it on the team. Then I think we've got a slightly different way of thinking about it. And we resume from 1 hour, 1:14, 20 seconds. Okay. So what does Rocket? We've seen Rocket bring to the team brains. We've seen Groot bring to the team brawn, like team brawn. We've seen Quill bring to the team
wit. I think more than anything, it's wit. I would say brain, but it's not really brain as much as it's wit.
Okay, but how has that helped the team so far?
He's able to outsmart his opponents.
Who is he outsmarted at this point? Oh, he has dealt with Yondu.
No, I'm the guy at the beginning.
Which one?
When he was stealing the orb originally.
Yeah, but he wasn't on a team then. No, but he's also, he is the focal point around this team.
Yeah.
The team is moving around him.
He's the captain.
Yeah.
Even though Rocket's the captain, right?
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, Rocket's the captain.
Right.
Yeah. I am not mocking you. He is the man who also copying my voice. I am not copying his voice.
He did it again! That's the biggest upset of the fact that we're not watching volume 2 at the moment, is that my favourite Guardian is not in this film.
Who's your favourite Guardian?
Mantis.
She's pretty good.
She is so funny.
Do you think I'm ugly? Yes. Horrifically ugly. Unbearable to look at. And then moves on to be very wholesome.
She is so funny. She's definitely one of my favourites. And I do think the Guardians steal it in the in Infinity War.
What does she get to do in Infinity War? I know she has a fight with Thanos.
Who?
Mantis.
Mantis, she just has comedy all over the place.
Yeah.
And she's just so funny.
No, absolutely.
When Drax is eating the nuts and he's like, "Hi, Drax."
I love the artist and so still I'm invisible. He's also I remember he improvised the line of why is Gamora?
Why is Gamora?
They improvised that.
Again, we'll get there. Now is not the time. We should look at this film in particular. No, it's just Cherry Bomb is now playing.
Mm-hmm. Why? He's the most powerful man in the universe. Why does he need to isolate himself?
Because he thinks he's not.
Also, I'm going to point out later, but Ronan could have touched the ground at any time. But maybe that's arrogance. You think you can do it any time until you realise it's too late.
Yeah.
There's one more thing we need to complete the plan. That guy's out. No, we don't. That guy's out.
Now, how funny would it have been if actually that guy's eye was the eye
that was absolutely needed. He didn't take the eye.
For Thor.
Would have been pretty funny. Boy. Remember, boy? I get it.
Oh look, They're definitely a team. They're wearing the same clothing.
Drax has just chosen the underpants.
But that's fine. It's Drax.
He's a bit tight.
They're wearing the Ravager
Groot-
army. They're wearing the Ravager thing, which is very cool.
Very much like old-time pirate ships, where you would have a fleet around like a carrier, or like one carrier has smaller ships.
Everyone that said you wanted to die among friends. No, I received a transmission from one of the Ravagers. He said Roland's in possession of something called an Infinity Stone.
Who's she?
Glenn Close,
He's a criminal.
I believe.
He said his crew just escaped from prison, and we'd have no other reason to risk him to Xandar and help. He says he's an a-hole, but not an important.
Yeah, it's Glenn Close.
I like the unfolding of the ship. I like how it rotates when it's in normal planetary.
Things that
atmosphere.
Glenn Close has been in that you wouldn't know. What Happened to Monday? She was in Warcraft.
Oh,
She
I
was
still haven't
in-
seen that yet.
Hoodwinked. She was in Tarzan. She was in the light. 100. She's Cruella de Vil.
What? Like,
No, the live action Cruella de Vil,
you know, I could see that.
not the comic one, the live action one. Yeah. I don't think we need much more than that. Yeah, she was the
Cruella de
live
Vil.
action Cruella de
I
Vil.
can literally see her Cruella de Vil. She is a fantastic cast for that. Now, whatever they find of her, that shit is still burning. Now, why they wouldn't be shields on the other side, who knows? That's a lot of ships. Welcome to London. It's about all Britain again.
Was that the Millennium Tower Bridge underneath outside that window?
You see it in a clearer one later.
Okay. Oof.
Why they haven't noticed they're being attacked yet?
No, they have.
No, but why they haven't sent people?
Don't know.
Flak in the sky?
So this film came out very near my birthday. Whereby I went to see it on my birthday.
Is that so?
It came out April 2nd, 2014.
Nice. Wait, wasn't your birthday August?
Sorry, August, sorry.
I
August
was about
2nd.
to say, otherwise
August
I put your
2nd.
birthday in wrong for the passports.
Yeah, it's close to my birthday. So, oh, look at this. Xandar here to help.
Nova Corps, yeah.
Peter Quill, this is the Narian Tsar of the Nova Corps. For the record, I advised against trusting you here. They got my dick message!
Peter Quill sending the one and only wanted dick pic.
Did you hear about Jeff Bezos who sent his dick pic?
I did, that came in very big news. He basically went public against the newspaper threatening to publish it, and basically published it himself.
What? Why would you take a dick pic in the first place?
I mean, this is a question. This is a question for a lot of people. I think it's like, as much as it's not my thing, I recognize that other people might find it fun for whatever reason they choose. And yeah, they have a right to privacy. But realistically, like, considering how massively sort of done it is, like, surely the right attitude is to go, oh, okay, he did, so what? Like,
Yeah.
fine, yeah, it's weird for me to think about one of the world's richest guys doing that, But then again, alright, so what? He's human.
That's fine.
All Nova planets, interlock, and form a blockade. The Dark Aster must not reach the ground.
Starcast could just drop right now. What would you be able to do to stop it?
Not much.
Also, what happened to the shield that the Darkcaster had?
I'm assuming it got interrupted or blown up by Quill and friends. I remember seeing this on the big screen. I remember seeing this in the cinema and thinking, wow.
It looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, it's a superb tactic. It uses the idea of sort of mesh pieces. Like each piece can, you're not relying on a single bit to fail. Any like individual bit can fail and be replaced.
This is my friend, Tree. Amazing.
Yep. Nice, lovely thing out of the Sylvan's armory.
As you said, Groot is a prince. He knows his stuff.
Well, yeah. Also, I said Sylvan there, you didn't catch it.
I did catch the Sylvan, but why would you call him a Sylvan?
Trade magic.
Oh, you must stop. Gamora, you can run to the sun. You always stupid.
Ha! Oh shit.
You don't touch that!
I forgot about the scene.
This is the scene that inspired the 5 minutes in the film.
What do you mean 5 minutes of the film?
This was like a 5-minute segment in the film where he went around murder hoboing everyone.
Really?
You don't remember in Volume 2?
Oh, yeah, Volume 2! Yes.
Everyone was like, "Whoa." So finally we get to see the power of it. Now what's good about this is that it's not overused. Like, he literally threatens it several times. That was a great catch. He literally threatens it several times, and you're always wondering, what does it do? And now you see it, you're like, that's so cool. And then they overuse it. Like, one of my... Oh, this scene. Basically, Volume 2 is everything that was fun about Volume 1 recaptured. Like, oh, we've got a scene where she comes back together, let's do that again for like 3 times the length. Or we've got a scene where Zandu, like... Yondu does this, uses his whistle weapon. Yeah, let's do it for like 3 times the length.
Immolation Initiative.
And now you can start...
I recognise him.
And hang on.
Who was that?
Wait, you look it up, but I'm looking for the distinctly London bits. Hey, it's like playing Tempest. Oh, that's the Millennium Bridge. I saw it the first time and I was like...
Keep running up there, so we'll take care of the people down here.
I'll be able to take orders from a hamster. Star Lord.
Finally. That was cool actually, I only noticed that now. He stabs people and then throws them the other direction while stabbing.
I definitely recognise that guy.
Yeah, look, I would look forward to see where you find him.
Everybody shoot them before they hit the ground.
Literally playing Tempest.
Oof,
Groot showing off his power.
I am Groot.
No, it's quite nice to see. Peter Quill is not the best fighter. In fact, he's quite an ungainly fighter. He sort of stumbles a lot. He moves around more than he needs to.
Yeah.
But that's his kind of style. Whereas Drax is very much. He's basically the wrestler. He's brute force.
But again, doesn't he? Oh
That's
shit! Again, this is why he is used to. What's the word I'm looking for? Outsmart his opponents.
Who?
Peter Quill.
Yeah, because he's not an amazing fighter. He uses technology to make up for the fact that he's basically just a bog standard human. Whereas everyone else on the team has some kind of ability. And then we have Groot doing the Hulk thing.
Again, that's
Ronan the Accuser.
that's why John Brotherton, who was in Furious 7 and he was in Fuller House on
What
Netflix.
was Furious 7?
Fast Furious 7.
What was his role in it?
Probably a minor role. Shepherd?
Oh, whatever. Probably a soldier.
I'm guessing.
Oh, and he dies so soon. I liked him.
Who died?
He did.
Brotherton?
Yeah, he was just crushed as not Thanos', what's his face?
Ronan's.
Ronan's ship. No,
No, because he's now got purple eyes.
I mean, I thought he always had.
I don't believe so. I believe it's because of the Power Stone.
I'm so glad people run at them with a sword. They trained a lot for this action sequence, and it is a very good sequence.
Oh,
We could see a skeleton in that.
yes you can. That's how much electricity is going through that. Oh shit.
I should be fine. Walk it off.
Sister, help us fight Ronan. You know he's crazy.
This is where in Deadpool he would middle finger and fall, yeah?
Okay, that is very apt timing. Get out of here.
Shame they didn't use a Wilhelm there.
Okay, I see what you mean with eyes.
Now it would have been funny if it was like the
joke-
second wife.
Yeah, I don't know, that joke's being used. So I would have liked to see this gun do a little more damage. Well, that plan just went to pieces.
Ooh.
That didn't go so well for you last time.
No.
Try round two.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Nice dodge.
Don't need to knock Groot out of the way. One of his famous party tricks is from a tiny twig he grows back, and then something like rescues everyone. Great, so you took a ship that was gliding and now it's falling.
No, you took a ship that you didn't want to hit the ground,
And it's now hitting.
and now it's going to hit the ground.
Yeah. Also, if it's falling, they should probably be floating.
Why?
So, free fall, everything is in free fall. So if the ship is falling as fast as gravity, they should also start floating, because they're falling as fast as gravity. However, you could argue that because the ship is so big, it actually has significant air resistance, but they also don't look like they're even moderately concerned by it. Now, Groot is the big team player.
Do you think? So this is a shield, a barrier, something
Yeah.
to protect them
Mhm.
from the sudden impact. Yes.
Yeah.
In reality, this wouldn't work.
Okay, so what kills you as Jack Sparrow says, it's a short drop with a sudden stop. No one gets killed by the fall, you get killed by the acceleration at the end of the fall, which is minus very, very, very big. So in order for it to keep them alive, it needs to be able to absorb a lot of impact. Our branch is that good at absorbing impact. Well, he's also stabilizing himself, kind of, in a way. So, okay, so he's going to hold this thing in place, that's for certain. Does it look like it could absorb impact? Well, it doesn't really, but we know that Groot's also very strong. We know bullets don't harm him as much as bullets would normally harm a tree.
He's also put them
He's strapping them in.
in.
Yeah. So, we know that Groot is stronger than a much normal tree. And we know he's anchoring himself down, we know he's anchoring them in place. He's basically acting like, ooh, he said his fourth word. You know, there's a chance it could work. Acting as a gigantic, Jesus Christ, there goes that. Whew. Acting as a gigantic, basically like cushion. But that thing came in fast. I mean, I think it is fair that he was all destroyed but to a twig. Like, that's basically the reasonable outcome.
But also, the other super would also be destroyed and outputted to a twig.
I can see the reason why, if you took just enough liberties, it would work out right. Just enough liberties. And that's sort of what this film gets away with. It takes just enough. Oh, of course it survives. Yeah, this film, it has its holes, but they do just the right amount to move to the next stage. What's he doing there? Oh, of course, he was on Zambi.
Sandar.
And so now, he could have tapped that at any moment. That was the Force Stone.
Your guardians of the galaxy, what proves that people and his mother. People of Xandar, the time has come to rejoice and renounce your paltry gods. Your salvation is at hand. We serve you. Bring it down, Paul. Hands off, bro. Me and you. Come on. So, get back. What are you doing? I'm distracting you. Big turd lost.
Now, what I liked about that scene, because we didn't speak about it at all, is that it gave a reason for all the songs to be in the film. Because without it, the songs were just in the film for the fun of it. Whereas now, it's like, he's used his songs as distraction. It's kind of BS, but you know what? It works just about enough.
But then you also talked about Footloose earlier, which is important as well.
It's important for his character, but the question is, where does it go? Like, for the mixtape to really be a character, it needs to have a purpose. And this is its purpose. Now, what's its purpose in the second film? Oh, it's established. It's just its thing. It needs no further purpose other than to be itself.
So actually, this shouldn't happen.
Okay.
What should happen is he shouldn't be breaking up at all.
Why?
Because he's a Celestial.
He's half Celestial.
Half Titan or half Celestial? He's half Celestial.
I don't think so.
Ego the Living Planet is a
Is
Celestial,
is he?
not a Titan.
You're right though, like, the whole point of him is that this is why he can withstand it for so long.
Now, do they need the cheesiness of, they all have to hold hands?
No, but this cements them as a team, and that's the point of it.
Yep.
Ego, Earth 616.
Titan or Celestial?
It doesn't say that. I don't think he's either.
Okay.
Oh, I like the purple one. Now imagine if he had held on to that for the thing. Thanos would have had a much worse time.
Yeah, but he would have fucked it up when he couldn't find Gamora.
Yeah, but if he had had it in the first place, never would have come to that.
True.
And that's when he makes the swap.
I don't know who you're selling this to, but the only way the universe will survive is if you give it to the Nova Corps.
That's the only way the universe dies. And now you've seen it, you're like, oh boy, are you going to do this here? And now it's a swap. Dum-dums.
When you watch this for the first time, you don't know that you swapped it.
Of course not, but that's the joy of it later.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part in the first time. I didn't notice that.
Yep.
Even on second watching.
Yep.
Thank God we didn't deliver him to his dad like he asked us
Yep.
to. Dad was a total jackass.
Yep.
I mean, his dad was a total jackass.
Yep. Notice how like they're burnt already. They're burnt from holding the.
It's a nice effect. Oh. Yeah, I remember seeing a picture of how this was filmed, and it was filmed with the what's his name, Gunn?
Sean Gunn.
Sean Gunn being petted by Batista. It's like, what a life. They're not just standing around.
Yep.
What, you never seen a rocket raccoon before? They recovered remarkably quickly.
they didn't know Ego the Living Planet is not his father in the comics.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he's
I think it's Spartoid or
something.
Spartoid. The Emperor of Spartoid is still someone who's very big and.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Which one?
John
C. Reilly?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably just dies.
He probably gets snapped.
No, he probably dies in the decimation of Xandar.
Yeah, that's true.
Along with the guy on the left, not the guy on the right way.
Yeah.
He's kept alive.
Nice sweet ending.
Still illegal. Oh, no, I wanted more, sir. Understand?
I love how they were part of the Ravagers wearing Ravager gear, and now they work for the Nova Corps and out of Nova Corps gear. It looks really awkward, but
Okay, thank you. I've had enough.
I'm not going to listen to you, but sure.
He's trying. Blue and orange. Blue, green, grey, orange.
So, after all of this, he's finally gotten over his mother's death.
What was it that got him over it?
When he was asked to take my hand.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Did you know when they first showed the present? At this point, did you know it was a second thing?
No idea.
It's not a brilliant present.
I mean, it's a pretty good present. It's a great movie thing. But what happens to Volume 3? Going 26 years, that's some repressed childhood. So the first song of Volume 2. Does it come back in the second Volume 2?
No. It's considered as part of Volume 1. You know, they had to have recorded this on the radio. You have to wait for your song and then just like, oh, quick, record!
Oh, how you do it normally? Yeah. I only vaguely remember like trying to record things on TV, like, oh quick, set the timer on. Ain't nobody low enough. Ain't no. And once again, they're contrasting like the happy with the very serious.
Yeah. And then the funny.
There we go. Since the beginning of the film.
Mistake.
Yeah.
But they'll never know that now.
The pink ones keep coming around.
It's the same family. Ain't nowhere to hide now. Ain't nowhere. Did it always have 4 seats?
Oh, it probably would have. They probably would have installed it after.
Something good? Bad? Good or both?
The first time someone's called him Star Wars.
No, that was the other guy was the one from the beginning of the film. This is Jackson 5. No, this is the second time. He's like, oh, you get used to that.
Hidden Mickey.
Oh, that's true.
Wow. I can't believe you forgot when this was used. So this is one of the best mid/end credit scenes.
It's like technically an end credit scene, yeah, because it's after the thing, but no credit. And it's so simple. It's just Groot dancing. Drax cleans his knife, and then Drax turns and then looks away, and that's it.
Oh man. Nice knife though.
Very Draxy.
Very, very Draxy. Feels very elitery as well, doesn't it?
Cool.
Right.
What's the end credit for this?
I know. Actually, do I know?
It's probably something Thanos related. Oh, yeah, I bet it's Thanos like, I'll do it myself.
No.
That's not that?
No.
When does that happen?
End of another film.
Okay,
This one is...
oh god, this is the annoying one. This is the Harold the Duck one.
Oh yeah. That's my biggest problem with the Guardians end credits, even in the second one.
There was only, in the second one, there were
5.
one or two that were important. One was Adam, that was the most important one. And Adam Warlock comes up a huge amount in the comics, and he is the bomb.
I'm waiting for him to... I think that's what that was. I'm assuming that was what Volume 3 was going to be about, but...
Adam Warlock is the bomb. He's powerful, he's everything, literally. Whereas, yeah, the other ones were, like, kind of funny, kind of...
There was, like, a Watchers one, and there was, like...
Oh, yeah, that was the...
That was Stan Lee.
That was in the film. Was that an end credit?
And then there was another end credit scene as well, yeah.
And then there was also one where the new captain learns how to use the whistle weapon. And then a couple of other just random ones.
It just wasn't like, I don't like these end credit scenes. They don't, and why don't I like these end credit scenes? The whole reason we're talking about them on films in the first place. We like the end credit scenes because the whole point of them is they're supposed to tie us back into a bigger world.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, like, for one reason or another, James Gunn went, I don't want to do that. I want Guardians to be the bad boys of the world, which means that their films have to be different. And don't get me wrong, like, it's okay, but also it'd be nicer if, like, it was... Like, here's the thing. You could have done something really cool with the Reality Stone in this end credit scene. Like, that would have been cool.
Reality Stone?
That's already...
Oh, yeah, the
Aether. You could have done something very cool with that. What else could you have done in this? You could have... who else ties really nicely into it? You could have tied other Ravagers into it.
There's so many things we could have done.
Yeah, you could have...
In relevance to the wider world. There was a lot of Thanos in this, there's a lot of Gamora, there's a lot of Nebula, even the whole Nebula thing would have been...
Yeah, it would have been nice to see where Nebula got to. Nebula and Thanos. That would have been a good one.
That's all we needed.
But no, we got Howard the Duck. Which I still don't get the reference, but I do get that why it's annoying.
Voiced by Seth Green.
Who he?
Chris from Family Guy and Creative Robot Chicken.
Got it.
Very small.
Man, Thomas loves that.
He also played not Mini-Me, but the other son of Dr. Evil in the
Austin Powers?
Austin Powers films, yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Are we on to the...
I think we're on to the summing up sort of thoughts. Joel,
Okay.
What are your thoughts of this film?
The film itself had a very intertwining story.
Okay.
Lots of things were happening at once.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of characters were introduced. I think all in all, there are about 10 to 12 very important characters to look at in this film. And I liked the way that they brought them together.
Mm-hmm.
I thought some of the set pieces were good. Others were not so good.
Go on, tell me just a bit more about it. What did you like, what didn't you like?
I really like the beginning set piece. The first set piece with the dancing through the caverns and then escaping the caverns. That was really good. I like the escape of the prison scene. That's it.
Okay.
I think
what
everything
did
else feels a bit bland, really.
So you weren't a fan of sort of the final action sequence?
No, I feel
climbing
like
aboard the ship, the air fight. There's a lot of different set pieces then, because there was like Yondu on the ground, and then they were firing up at the ground, and there was the Nova Corps Link.
again the Yondu on the ground was very cool.
Yeah,
But the
rest of it was a bit.
I just don't see it. It just felt boring to me.
Yeah, like I know they said they spent a lot of time learning how to do the choreography fight of Gamora versus.
That was a good scene when they're trying to get the orb. They're in Xandar, and they're stealing the orb off each other before the Nova Corps.
Oh no, that's not what I was getting at.
Oh, you were getting the one versus Nebula.
Yeah, like they spent a long time choreographing it. It was also like the stereotypically bad action scene. Like they were just fighting, but they weren't fighting for a purpose other than I just want to kill the other person, and they were just hitting each other. There was no environment that came into it. Like what I thought they were going to do more of is Gamora. She pulls down the power thing, and I thought it was going to be a fight. If she's trying to get to that, she's not going to try to do that. Very Jackie Chan-esque. They didn't do that. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that the more that I watch it, the more that I... So, I had a lot of problems with this film after watching the comics. Reading the comics. I've come to the conclusion it's pretty good. I've come to the conclusion that actually it does so much right and it could have done so much wrong. Like it would have been so easy just to paint Drax, yeah, he's just the one guy, and Raccoon's just the one guy, and Gamora's just the one girl.
We'll get back to your train of thought in a second.
Oh. Cosmo? Oh, it's a doggy. Now, was that a reality stone? Yeah, no.
Okay. So you treat each person as a single person?
No, as in, like, if you treat each person as a stereotype, Drax is just a grr, and Gamora's just a grr, and Raccoon's just a grr, and Bruce is just a and Quill is like, guys, we've got to do this. It would have been so easy to treat them as stereotypes and do it wrong. I think I actually got to give him credit. He pulled something very fantastic together to introduce that many new characters. And
main characters.
Yeah, main characters. And to not have the villain just be the anti-character. Like, okay, the villain was generic, but he was a different kind of villain. And that, like, I think there's a lot of good that came into that. Yeah, the set piece was pretty good. I think the starting set piece was fantastic. The moving around, the intertwining. The middle set piece of the prison, yeah, that was pretty reasonable. It got a bit generic in the middle when you just keep shooting generic, like, robot fighting thing. But it was clever after that.
Yeah.
And then you have the final set piece.
You know, you've got Nowhere first. Got the stuff on Nowhere.
Yeah, Nowhere was fairly exciting.
And then you got the final set.
And then you got the final set piece, which had some nice moments, but I agree, like, a lot of it felt very... And also, like, it falls in the trap of, they've got swords and they're running at people with guns, or they've got guns, but they're not really shooting it. They'll take their time looking back on them forwards. So, it has its good, it has its bads. Can I forgive it for being different from the comic? Yeah, I can. I think it's fair to say it solidified itself in its own way.
Again, you saw this first.
I did. I think it solidified itself in its own way. Now, do you remember the ordering?
I think so. You can test me if you'd like.
Sure, what came fourth? I'm messing with you.
Fourth?
Give me order.
In order, so we've currently got Captain America, the Winter Soldier, then the Avengers, then Iron Man, the First, then Captain America, the First Avenger, and then Thor, the original.
Ding, ding, ding. All points.
Cool.
So, Captain America. Do you think this goes above Captain America, the Winter Soldier?
If I was looking at music alone, then yes. But I'm not.
I mean, that's a bit like saying, do I like them? Do you like the 80s songs? Upbeat 80s songs? The answer is yes.
So no, not for me, personally.
Okay. And look, I agree. I think that the fact I liked Captain America and the Winter Soldier when I rewatched it, and the fact that, I could rewatch some parts and be like, man, how exciting is that? Like, I've always liked the sort of down-to-earth fighting of Captain America over just sort of stylized fantasy.
Yep.
Okay, then we've got the Avengers. Does Guardians go above Avengers?
What do you think?
I don't think it does. I think the Avengers was a much better, more rounded film. In fact, if I had to say many things, like the Avengers got so much just A-okay. For Winter Soldier to be above it, it's because Winter Soldier managed to do better in some parts, which is fantastic. Honestly, I think Guardian does a lot right, but I wouldn't go for.
I think I could rewatch the Avengers again and again and again and not have an issue. I don't know if I could rewatch Guardians in the same vein. I think that it is missing that sense of flair to it that Avengers had. But also the Avengers, we also had the previous 5 films, sorry.
Look, and it's not fair, but it doesn't have to be fair. But good job, James Gunn, for making a film that we are comparing to it and going, yeah, we've got to think about it a bit.
Especially when you had 5 films of prerequisite.
Mm-hmm. Now we've got Iron Man. Ooh.
Now I think this is where the tough one goes. I think for me personally, I'm going to put it either above or below Iron Man, but I don't know where I want to put it at the moment.
Let me start at the bottom. Is it better than Thor? Yeah. Is it better than Captain America? Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Yeah.
It comes down to Iron Man. I would totally agree with that. I am going to vote for... Okay, in terms of characters, Iron Man had much fewer characters. It did them very well, but it also had much fewer. This brought characters to life in such a fantastic way. In terms of set pieces, Iron Man had sort of opening Mark 1. It had the fight in sort of generic Middle Eastern province, and then it had the fight against sort of...
Ironmonger, that's what his name is.
Ironmonger. Fight against
when Tony Stark can build a suit in a...
Big cave.
In a
But with
cave.
due respect, sir, I'm not Tony Stark. No, you're not. Whereas this, the first set piece was the... kind of. Was the getting captured and then getting escaping and then the final fight. I think it's fair to say that I think Guardians had... Okay, Iron Man first set piece versus Guardian first set piece. It's a tough one for me because Mark 1 escape was top notch. But Guardians 1 set piece was subtle but actually really, really well done. That's a hard one for me to put. Guardians set piece 2 was escape from the prison.
You're missing the fight on Xandar.
That's what I meant. Not the escape from the opening sequence. I mean the when they were passing between them. That's what I'm comparing to the Mark 1 escape.
Okay.
Then you have the
Escape from the prison.
versus the going into generic warlord country.
Yeah.
So the generic war country was a much more big power trip, which kind of worked well for the film. Like you're opening up like, yeah, I get to be cool. Whereas that for the Guardians was more of like a team building exercise. I think the Iron Man one wins for coolness. So I think the Guardians had a really good thing. But I think in terms of raw coolness, Iron Man gets that. Then you have the final sequence. Was Warmonger a good villain? It was alright. Was the Guardians a good ending? It was alright. God, they're pretty evenly matched.
They are.
Okay, in terms of... God, how else can we break them down? Okay, in terms of universe, Guardians builds the story much more. But it's also had much more of a story to come before it.
Yes, but I also think that it doesn't relate... I don't know. I really don't know. This is why I'm struggling at the moment.
This is a tough one. Hardest one we've had to do.
If you had to pick one to watch, if it was Guardians and Iron Man that's sitting in front of you.
Look, this is going to give you my answer because I've already known it from the start, I suppose, but I was trying to think it through honestly. It's going to be Iron Man. It's going to be Iron Man because that resonates with me just so much more than Guardians does. Both did and does.
I think before we started rewatching these films, I think Guardians would have been put number 3 for me. But I think in the rewatch we've had over the last couple of months, I enjoyed Iron Man a lot more than I enjoyed this.
I mean, it might have also just been because it was the first one we did, but we were talking so much more about the film in that one. Whereas in this one, we mostly looked at the film, and actually, do you remember how much I was telling you in other films, like, shh, I want to watch this bit? This one I was mostly like, there's a couple of scenes, but mostly it's like, okay, this is happening, let's talk. So, yeah, I completely agree. I think we're putting Guardians of the Galaxy... Is it called Volume 1 or just Guardians of the Galaxy? Guardians of the Galaxy, Number 4. And there we go, boy.
Okay.
Let me post that to you on the Facebook so that we can forget it for the next time.
And that's it, really. There's not much more to do.
Now, do you think we've done our 2 film ones, and I don't think we get time for the next one. Do you think we're on track? Do you think we're on schedule?
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 films left to go through, and we've got a month and a bit to do it in.
Yeah. When did 2 films a month come from?
We didn't do 2 films in January.
We
No, we did. No, we were meant to do 2 films in November and 2 films in December. We didn't do that.
So basically, you're the reason we're behind schedule. Joel, the project manager.
You know what? Can I tell you a secret about the next film? Can I tell you a secret? Because I've kind of been holding it off. I thought it was this one, but it's not.
Just like a tricky constipation, you really got to get to down.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad I made the metaphor. Go on.
The next film that we watch is the first recorded film that we watch together.
When you say first recorded,
as in, I checked. I tried to find.
Was this from a last thing that you were saying? Okay.
I tried to find it. This is the first recorded film.
The first one we watched in cinema together.
In the cinema together.
Okay. That's cool. That's really cool.
That's where we'll leave it for today.
Joel, boop. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining on this one.
Don't steal my line in the next one.
I mean, it's a good line.
I know, but
I don't have any lines. What do I say?
You do the squidgillions.
I say squidgillions. And then I say, like, thanks for coming, folks. We'll see you at the next one. But then what else do I do, Joel? What else am I? I'm having a breakdown here.
Joshua, are we going to have the traditional outgoing music here, or are we going to pick something from
I was wondering what you're going with there.
The Guardian soundtrack?
I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
And you'll just have to wait till I edit this before you find out.
That sounds great. Hooked on a feeling. Let's
see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Lips as sweet as candy, its taste is on my mind. Girl, you got me thirsty for another cup of wine.
Pale, blinded by the shadows your light casts. Do you have excuses for their darkness, sister?
Yes, you know, Kelly Morgana sisters.
Interesting, so we got a duo set of skins.
No, duo set of brand new champion. It's reworks. The reworks.
Oh.
Look at all of these things! Oh, yes! Get rooted, get funked. She looks awesome.
Ooh.
That's cool. Come on, Morgana, give me something cool.
Press the R key.
That's the R key.
Okay.
So not as much has changed in her kit, but it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Why do we have feet if not to tread upon the soil?
Well, it's a bit like Riven and Yasuo, black and white.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But they've always been like that. They've always been sisters there. Laura's always been sisters.
Never knew that.
What's interesting more for me is the new animations on Morgana. Sue TM.